Hello and welcome to NanLovesFood. I am Ann here today with another video on the Ninja Speedi. If you haven't seen the other video, I'll link that one here. It's kind of an overall review, but today we are just gonna make a quick chicken Parmesan. I had a lot of requests to do some more chicken recipes. I know chicken can be tricky, especially chicken breast, can be very difficult to get just right. Obviously, undercooked chicken is real bad, and overcooked chicken, especially chicken breast, is also real bad. So I'm gonna show you a trick that I use to make sure that the chicken is still moist and delicious and what you wanna be eating. So I'm gonna go over to my Ninja Speedi app. So technically this isn't actually an app, it's just a URL, but it's gonna allow us to build our recipe in here. So we are going to get plain pasta or pasta with tomato sauce. We're gonna pick our protein, and I'm gonna do skinless chicken breasts. Seasoning doesn't really matter, but we'll go ahead and click Italian. And I'm not doing any veggies other than the sauce. We're just gonna have a quick bag salad with this dinner tonight. So easy peasy there. We don't really need any toppings either. And now I'm gonna click this button that says generate my recipe. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna do half a box with a 24-ounce jar of sauce. Some 1.5 to 2 inch thick chicken breasts, which is great. I'm gonna have to cut mine down and that'll be just fine. So we're gonna start by adding pasta to the bottom of our Ninja Speedi. We're gonna take out the air fryer lid. I'm using this Great Value rigatoni. This actually works out great. This is a 28-ounce jar of Rao's that I've used a little bit of, so I think we'll probably be right at 24 ounces. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the rest of this jar with about 1.5 cups of water, and I'll use that to clean out the remainder of the sauce that's in the jar. The directions don't call for salt, but I would have salted my pasta water, so I know that we're gonna want a little bit in there to make sure that pasta has all the flavor we can get. Now this is a non-stick surface, so I will be using a silicone spoon to stir things around. If you use metal and silicone, you run the risk of scraping it. We don't want to do that. So now we're going to switch over to the chicken. I'm going to put this right back in. So our little feet are out and she just sits right in there nice and tidy. So one of the reasons chicken breast is so hard to get perfectly right is because it's super thin down here and super thick up here. And because it is very lean meat, there's not a lot of fat in it, so it dries out really easy. So to help combat that problem, I'm just gonna take this chicken breast and cut it in half. Now you might say, well, it's still gonna be thin down here and thick up here. Well, yeah, but there's not gonna be as much of a difference. And so that's gonna help us out a little bit. So this is sort of a cheater chicken parm because we're not gonna go through all of like the proper procedure for breading. I'm just giving this a little bit of salt. Instead, we're just gonna bread effectively one side. So we're gonna get the joy of a little bit of like that fried taste that we would get in a chicken parm, but without the work of a breading station. It is a weeknight, and I'm not willing to work that hard for a weeknight meal. So this will give like, you know, a lot of the satisfaction without a lot of the work, which is what, in my opinion, weeknight cooking should be all about. So I hit these with a little bit of oregano, and now I'm hitting them with a little bit of the Trader Joe's Green Goddess seasoning blend. So now that we are all seasoned up on one side, I'm going to put them in the air fryer portion of the Speedi, and I'll show you what we do next. All right, so we've got our chicken breasts that are seasoned on one side and not the other. My hands are washed, and I'm not gonna get them dirty again. Not with chicken yuckies anyways. So we're just gonna put these down in the air fryer basket, and we're gonna give this other side a little bit more seasoning. Here's the oregano I used. Okay, and to get that Parmesan kind of thing going on. I have some plain panko breadcrumbs, and I'm just gonna sprinkle these on top of the chicken breasts. I'm being a little sloppy. I don't care if some goes down into my pasta. I mean, pasta and breadcrumbs is fine with me, but we got a nice layer on there. And then I'm gonna hit it with some pecorino romano. So technically this isn't chicken parm, it's chicken pecorino romano, but same idea. You could certainly use parm for this application. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna add some fat and it's gonna add some texture, and it's gonna let this chicken get crisped up and delicious because of this cheese being right here on the top. This will help retain moisture and it'll give that air fryer a little extra oomph. Now, since I cut my chicken really thin, I'm only gonna put this on for 10 minutes. So 390 for 10 minutes. We're gonna flip the switch here from air fry to rapid cook. Turn this baby on, 390, down to 10 minutes, and start. We'll have dinner in no time. All right, so the timer just went off. It's been about 20 minutes. My house smells amazing. Look at that. See how the cheese got all like bubbly and crispy? And we've got a nice good texture on this chicken. Now, I did wash my tongs because they had some raw chicken on them, and now we have cooked chicken, and that is a different thing. You want some fresh tongs for that. Yum. Now we are gonna lift out this base. I'm gonna throw it right into the sink because it's hot, and we have our beautiful pasta. Check that out. Time to pleat her up. That is a dinner worthy of a weekend on a weeknight. Yum. Okay, so here we are. This looks so good. So a few reminders on the Ninja Speedi for you, if you're not familiar with this as a cooking tool. Just like the Instant Pot or pressure cookers, it kind of lies about the time. You know, this was a 10-minute dinner that took about 20 minutes to make because it's boiling the pasta underneath before the 10 minutes starts on the air fryer component. So it's a little confusing that way in terms of like trying to figure out how long dinner is gonna take exactly. But the important part is that cooking dinner is completely hands-off, which is, to me, an absolute miracle. Between chicken and rice and sausage and fish and pasta, like all of the different combinations of food that you can cook in this thing, you could basically use it for every single weeknight. Now, as you can see in terms of capacity, I am only able to fit about 4 small chicken breasts in there. So if you're feeding more than 4 people, this is probably not the kitchen appliance for you. But if you've got 4 or under in your household, I think this is an absolute must get. I will link the one that I have down in the description so you can check that out. But for now, it's time to eat. The pasta is cooked perfectly. You could add a little extra sauce to the chicken if you want, but since I'm eating it with pasta with sauce, I don't really feel the need. And I want to keep as much of that crunch as possible. Yeah, it's really good. I would say the chicken is a little bit over. It still tastes delicious. It's not super dry, but I think we probably could have gone like 7 or 8 minutes instead of 10 and it would have been totally cooked through. One of the cool things about this appliance is that you can lift that air fryer lid while it is cooking. So if you think, ooh gosh, maybe that's getting a little overcooked, lift that lid, shove a thermometer in there and test it. That is the only way to know for sure if your chicken is cooked through without being overcooked, is to actually temp it with a thermometer. 10 minutes was fine. Less probably would have been a little bit better in this circumstance. But overall, this is an awesome weeknight meal. It took me no time at all. And I get all of the joy of like a chicken parm without any of the work of breading chicken, which is a-okay with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you love easy weeknight meals, this is the place for you. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.